following program is made possible in part by a grant from the Wyoming Community Foundation.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your new state-of-the-art public library. I'd like to thank the Wyoming Park Marching Band. They did a fantastic job for us today. Thank you for coming. A community celebration is a wonderful way to ring in the new year. Thank you for coming to celebrate our grand opening of the new public library. I'm so glad you could be here. It is because of your dedication, commitment, and vision for Wyoming's future that this building came to fruition. Many of you remember that not long ago, the Wyoming Public Library was a small, cramped facility that had limited handicap access, no study areas, and not even enough room for more books, much less computer technology. Today, check it out. Our library represents the future of Wyoming, a smart, sophisticated, technologically superior building that delivers all, that welcomes all, and encourages learning for all ages. Our new Wyoming Public Library has embraced the future while keeping the goal of being a center for learning and a gathering place for the community. It's a place where families can spend quality time together. And it is also a place that offers our business community several options for hosting workshops, meetings, or seminars with the latest in technology and equipment. This library represents a true partnership between the residents, the city, and our business community. You had a vision for our community, and you have not only talked about it, you financially supported that vision when you approved the millage in 1999 that made this building possible. I want to draw your attention to the program. If you haven't got one yet, pick one up. It lists all of our generous business donors whose contributions were crucial in making this building become a reality. A special thanks goes to the City Council for their commitment to the project and the long hours they gave to help make it a success. Also, as you walk around today, I encourage you to notice the bricks along the walkways with the names of the community-wide contributors. Thank you all for your support. I would also like to express a special thank you to the Kent District Library staff who have been an integral part of this project. They have done a terrific job. The City of Wyoming has enjoyed a successful relationship with the Kent District Library System and its predecessor, the Kent County Library System, for more than 40 years. As the largest branch of the KDL, more than 1,000 members of the community visit our library each day. Several of our county, city, and state officials are here with us today, and I'd like to recognize them at this time. With us this morning, we have members of our City Council, Carol Sheets, Bill Verhulst. He's here, I saw him. Yeah. Don Wickman, Rich Pasteur, and Jack Paul. We'd also like to welcome our county commissioners, Jack Bolema and Paul McGuire, and a cheering section. Also with us this morning is State Representative Joanne Voorhees. Senator Sikkema and Representative Voorhees, Senator Sikkema couldn't be here this morning, but he and Representative Voorhees have sent a joint Senate and House resolution for us in honor of the dedication of our new library, and that will be inside for you to read if you'd like to. Governor Engler also sent us a tribute on this special occasion, and that will be inside also. As we dedicate this new facility devoted to serving our residents, the library joins our other state-of-the-art public service facilities completed in recent years. Our new police, fire, and court buildings, our updated parks, public works and utility facilities, and lastly, our new city hall that is under construction. Wyoming is truly on the cutting edge in providing state-of-the-art, world-class public service to the community. As we enter the second year of the 21st century and our 43rd year as a city, I believe the dreams of our city's founders are being fulfilled. The city of Wyoming is, as our motto states, a city of vision and progress, and we invite everyone to come check us out. Please come and take advantage of this wonderful new library as often as you can. It is your library. I would now like to invite Lon Fry, the project architect from Fry, Gillen, Molinaro, to share his thoughts on this wonderful occasion. Lon?
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I know it's really cold out there, and you all want to get into this great building. I just want to thank you all for your support. It's a very creative building. It's one of the most creative new libraries in the country. I will tell you that right now. You're going to get a lot of national and international recognition for your dedication to great design. It's something that doesn't happen very often in this country. Most of the buildings that Americans are building are pretty ugly and not very inspired, and this one is inspired, and this one is, it's actually a building for today. When you think about how gloomy and cold it is here, and I know you are hardy people who like the snow, but you can always look at this building and it'll be a sunny building. It'll shine out at you, it'll be very bright and cheery. And that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to inspire you, to uplift you, to educate you, and actually to bring you together as a community, a cultural center. Have a cup of coffee, sit by the fireplace, learn, meet a new neighbor, and that's really what a library should be. And that's how this one is designed. And I really think it speaks for itself. And I thank you very much, and I hope you have many, many, many generations who will enjoy this. Thank you.
Thank you, Lon. Also with us today is Martha Smart, Director of the Kent District Library, who would like to share a few words with us in honor of the opening.
Good morning. I want to thank all of you who live in this community for the value that you've placed on your public library. And we are so excited as the Kent District Library to have this new flagship library of our 18 branch libraries. And we want to tell you that we, the staff of the Kent District Library, are here to provide wonderful, innovative, creative, special services for you in this community, hopefully to match this beautiful, wonderful place that you have created for your community. And we know that libraries will, because of the information and ideas that are here for you and your children to garner and to utilize to improve and the quality of the life of all of the residents of the community. So we are very excited to partner with the City of Wyoming in serving you, the citizens of Wyoming. And I'd like to just have us applaud you for your support for this building. Without you, of course, it would not have been possible. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Martha. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you our Congressman, Vern Ehlers, to share a few words with us. Vern?
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. As you know, Wyoming has its share of skeptics, and I recall one who said we'll have snow and freezing weather in July before we ever get a new library. And he was only off by 6 months. I want to tell you why I think libraries are important and why I love libraries. I see a lot of children here. I want to ask the children, and adults too for that matter, how many of you have asthma? I see a number of hands going up. So you all recognize what this little thing is. It's an inhaler, which I carry with me all the time. When I was a little boy, they didn't have inhalers. They didn't have good medicine for asthma, and I had severe chronic asthma, and I couldn't go to school. So what are you going to do if you don't have TV, the radio doesn't work very well, and you can't go to school? You read. I grew up in a small town of 800 people. Our library was open 2 afternoons a week, and I think the number of books in the library is about equal to the population, about 800 books. But I think I read all of those at least once, and all of those except the ones the librarian hid behind her desk. And I became an avid reader and developed a real love of reading and the imagination that is required to really visualize what's going on. I saw The Lord of the Rings this last week, and I was disappointed, not because it isn't a bad movie. It's a great movie, but it's certainly not as good as the one I built in my imagination when I read those books about 30 years ago. Reading is fundamental. Reading is very important. And you need a facility like the library to provide the reading materials that you need. But today, a library is much, much more than a repository of books. And the Wyoming Library expansion is a good example of what the library does today. It has become a community center for learning and for resources to learning. And so you not only have books, you also have computers for the internet. You also have audio-visual technology. You have an auditorium where you can meet and hear lectures and learn. A meeting room where you can get together with others and discuss and meet. And I can't wait to get inside because I read the description and it sounds like it's really built for kids and adults to come here and read. Now I do have to warn you, your love of reading can create a lot of work for you, because when I got on the county commission, John Brewer, who was the chairman, said, Vern, I want you to go on the library board. And I said, I've already got 4 appointments. I'm too busy. I'm working full-time teaching at Calvin. I can't do it. A week later, he came back and said, we really need you on the library board. I said, John, I just can't do it. I gave him the same reasons. The next week, he came back and said, Vern, I've checked around. You're the only county commissioner who knows how to read. You have to go on the library board. Even though that wasn't true, that finally convinced me. So I served on the Kent County Library Board. At that time, there was tremendous friction and bad feeling between the Grand Rapids Library and the Kent County Library system. So a gentleman on the Grand Rapids Library Board said, Vern, you have to come on the Grand Rapids City Library Board so you can combine the two. And that's the last thing I needed, but he persuaded me. I was appointed to an expired term, and so I served on the city board and the county board simultaneously, and the net effect of that was the Lakewood Library Federation, which many of you are familiar with. So you can borrow any book from any library within the whole federation. As if that wasn't enough, when I got to the state legislature, I was appointed to the state library board, and just a few weeks ago, I became chairman of the Joint Committee on the Library of Congress. So, which incidentally is a marvelous institution, and I hope all of you parents will take your children to Washington, D.C., show them the many sites. It's a wonderful place. It's virtually free because all of the museums and everything are open to the public free of charge. They belong to you. The hotel's a little expensive, but don't think about that. But be sure to visit the Library of Congress too. It's a marvelous institution. One of my colleagues in Congress, incidentally, when I became chairman of the Joint Committee in the Library, and he commented, he said, boy, you've had just about every library job you could have. And I said, I guess so, I hadn't thought of that. He says, but I'm a Catholic, maybe I can get you on the Vatican Library Board too. Any event, enough of that. That's a real delight for me to participate in this ceremony. This looks like a marvelous facility. I'm sure it will be well used, and I know from experience in dealing with the mayor and the City Commission of Wyoming that they guarantee the citizens of Wyoming get their money's worth. They really watch your tax dollars carefully, they spend them wisely, and I'm sure that this building will serve its purpose and serve it well and do it at a modest cost. So I think this is a wonderful thing for the community, not just the children, but especially for the children, because if you get them interested in libraries when they're young, they will use libraries the rest of their lives. And that's an extremely important resource for any individual throughout their life to be able to go to the library and take advantage of all the resources for learning and enjoyment that you can find in a modern library. Congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to the commission and the librarians. This is a marvelous addition to the Kent County Library System, as well as a very outstanding symbol of the progress of the city of Wyoming, the city of progress. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congressman. Before we go to cut the ribbon, I have one more thank you. I'd like to thank our Wyoming Library Board, who has put in many hours over the last few years to help make this beautiful facility come to be. Now, we're going to cut the ribbon in a minute, and each of you should have received a pair of scissors. If you haven't, there's someone with a basket that has some scissors around, and if we'll all move along around the ribbon and wait for the countdown before you cut the ribbon, and we'll take care of that any minute. I'd like to thank the Wyoming Park Marching Band and the Huntington Woods Children's Choir for providing entertainment for us this morning. Thank you.
Follow the mayor right over here, folks. Here you go. All right. Follow the mayor.
Okay, perfect.
Follow the mayor. You guys are going right up by the corner. We're just waiting a few minutes for people to get a spot at the ribbon, so if you could hold up just a minute. Hey, there's a lot of ribbon around the front. If you can find a spot, please spread out a little bit. I think hopefully we have enough space for everybody. Okay, we're ready to go. Let's start the countdown at 5. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cut the ribbon. Thank you, everybody. Please come on in, join us inside the library, and tour the whole facility. It's a great place for everybody. Thank you, everyone, for coming today.
The preceding program was made possible in part by a grant from the Wyoming Community Foundation.